Out with Rico and Karla is about to go live online. Catch select moments of All Out hit music, All Out celebrity interviews, All Out showbiz and sports news, All Out fun. Mid-mornings on The Monster. Streaming video on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, or twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your All Out hosts, Rico Robles and Karla Aguas. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Good morning!
Hey, all of the monsters who are locked in on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, and of course, all the monsters tuned in on air. You can hear it in the background. Hate You, Love You. One of my favorite songs right now. I'm not going to lie. I play it every single time I'm on board. And we are #blessed monsters because today we have got one out of the three geniuses behind this song and many more here to talk to us about part one of their debut album, meaning their gift to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Matt of the Cheat Code!
Yeah. Wow. What's up?
I can almost touch him. I mean, that sounds a little creepy, but hi, Matt!
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh, we're good. How are you?
Good.
How have you been?
I'm doing good. You know, it's a beautiful day in LA. Sun is shining, and I forget that it's morning for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's morning. It's actually, to be exact, it is 10 o'clock in the morning here in Manila.
Nice.
Yeah,
so not too bad.
10:08.
I could have been worse, like 6 a.m. or something, you know. So.
Matt, we would have woken up whatever time for you. I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, the monsters are big fans of the Cheat Code. So are we as DJs. I mean, congratulations. A debut album, Hellraisers, Part 1. The name alone already, I feel, is going to make such an impact, especially now. How does it feel to finally release even just part 1 of this baby that you guys have, been working on for so long? How have you been?
It feels great, it's so much more work to do a body of work because you want it to be a theme, you want the sound and all the production to be cohesive, you want the mix to be cohesive. So it's a lot more attention to detail, even the single artwork. Each single artwork is like a symbol that we incorporated into the album artwork. So yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it, which is probably why we haven't done an album yet. It's much easier to do singles. So part 1 of the album's out now. We got part 2 and part 3 coming as well. So it's gonna be fun, man. We got a lot of music coming out.
Is this anyway inspired by the movie Hellraiser?
It's not actually, but I've never seen that movie. I need to see it. But I love the Pinhead. I think his name's Pinhead. Yeah. The needles coming out. It's actually inspired by our late manager Michael Thean. He passed away like a year and a half ago. It was pretty tragic and sudden. Like no one saw it coming. And for us, he used to call us Hellraisers, which was kind of I guess the way it was more endearing the way that he was saying it, because everything that we wanted, even if we got pushed back for it, we were like, no excuses. Like, let's make it happen. Even if we got to find a different partner to make it happen, or, find whoever can make this work, and we're going to do it, So that's kind of our mentality. So yeah, he used to call us Hellraisers, and, this album goes out to him. It's definitely inspiration for him because he was one of the guys that always supported anything that we wanted to do, even if people push back on the idea of like, oh, why do a album? Just put out singles, or why do you want to do this, or why do you want to push for that? He was just always down to do it. No questions asked. So, shout out to Michael Thean for this.
Hey man,
I think you guys are I think you guys are so wonderful in the sense that you're so intentional with everything that you guys do as a group. And I think that's really reflective of the music that you've been putting out. Like you said, it's taken a while to get to this point for an album, but here you guys are. It's 11 tracks. Each one has a meaning. They all connect. Matt, was it something that you guys always set out to do as a group? Like, it's one thing to make music. It's another to make music that for you guys matters or, has some kind of importance in the world, especially now. everyone is experiencing some form of a roller coaster with this pandemic, right? So was it an intentional mission for you guys as the cheat codes that when you were going to drop this, it was really going to have a meaning on its own and be this gift that you could give to especially your fans?
Yeah, I mean, I think just in general, doing an album was something we always wanted to do since we first started. I mean, we all kind of come from the punk rock era. You know, we used to go to punk rock shows all the time, and that whole era was like they would sell their CDs at the show, and you're listening to like 10 to 12 songs, and the album had a vibe, and like you're really getting into it. And you know, when we started off, it was the beginning of the streaming era, and you know, we got big off of Spotify and like viral streaming songs and stuff like that. So, you know, as far as getting people's attention, it didn't necessarily make sense to do an album, but creatively, we just really wanted to do an album because we know as fans of music, that was something we always loved, and we loved to just, it felt like we were closer to the artist, like we knew more about the artist and who they were versus just like, oh, this is just like a song I know. So that was kind of our intention of doing an album, and then it kind of just grew from there. Honestly, we started working on this like right before the pandemic, and we're like, we're gonna do like a 12-song album, 11-song album. And because of the lockdown, we weren't playing any shows. We couldn't do anything. We're just kind of locked in the studio. And by the end of it, we're like, oh, we have enough material for a 3-part album. So if we're gonna do an album, let's just make it big. Let's blow it out.
You know, with this whole pandemic, how did it affect you guys? Other than you know, no shows in general, did it push you guys more creatively to sort of redo a lot of things in the album, or you kept the tracks as is and then just released it?
Yeah, we basically did a bunch of sessions, and we were doing a lot of Zoom sessions. So I mean, we were just writing songs like how we are now. Like we could just write it. I was doing sessions where one of the guys would be in Norway, one of the guys would be in London, one guy would be on the East Coast of America, and we would write a dope song in like 2 hours. So that was like a whole new experience. And with me and the Cheat Codes guys, we were kind of doing a divide and conquer thing where we were all doing separate sessions. And by the end of it, we realized, oh, we have 3 different vibes of records, but they all represent us as a group, you know? So we kind of took those individual vibes and then finished the songs together as a group. And that's kind of, you know, the first part is more of kind of Trevor's vibe. Second part is more Kevy's vibe. Third part is more my vibe. But we all finished all the records together. So yeah, I mean, like kind of what I was saying in the beginning of, we want this album to give fans a little bit more of us, so something more they can hold on to as far as this is who these people are as artists versus just like a song that they know and that they play in the club or whatever.
Yeah. You know what I love, Matt, is that you guys have such a distinct sound, but it feels so nostalgic. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the Cheat Codes, you guys don't sound like anybody else, but when people listen to your music, it's like they grew up with it. I hope I'm making sense, because that's how I feel when I hear your songs. It gives me that sense of comfort and that sense of home. And I mean, you know, Matt, you guys are powerhouses. Like, you have worked with big names. You've worked with Demi Lovato, you've worked with Little Mix. I mean, like, you've worked with all of these amazing artists. And for part 1, I mean, Tinashe, like, hello, AJ Mitchell. Did you guys sit down as a trio and like make a list? Okay, these are the artists we want. Or when you guys were making the songs, did you think, oh, AJ Mitchell would sound really good here, or oh, Tinashe would sound really good here? How did that process work in inviting fellow artists to be on the tracks?
Yeah, we always base it off of the song. So we kind of get an idea going, whether it's a concept or a hook, and then we'll kind of finish it up from there. And then we'll kind of put our A&R hats on and be like, if we were to have a collab on this record, who would make the song better? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we do have songs that are just us, you know, especially on the album. You can see that, you know, Mathematics, a couple other records is just Cheat Codes. And, you know, Trevor sings in the group, Kevy sings in the group. I sing on a couple songs that you may or may not know about, the Cheat Codes. So it's more about what's going to make the song better. So with Tinashe, we had the record, and we actually sent her a bunch of records, and that was kind of the record that she gravitated towards. She recorded her vocals in her studio, sent files. We sent files back and forth. Trevor recorded his vocals in our studio, and layered over each other. They sounded amazing together, which is kind of crazy that they were never in the studio together, you know?
I mean, the power of technology and home setups and personal studios, you know, it's an advantage in a way.
Yeah.
And also, you know, it would be cool though if you guys could capture that moment being with Tinashe in the studio, right? I mean, as far as conversation is concerned, what do you guys usually talk about with Tinashe when you guys are working together?
She's very laid back. She's very similar to me, just like an easygoing, creative soul, like go with the flow kind of vibe. But yeah, we did a photo shoot with her, and you know how it is with photo shoots, especially with me. It's like I don't hate doing photos, but I hate picking out clothes and like doing the whole thing. And she goes up to the photo shoot and she's like doing all these crazy poses and just like fully like no inhibitions at all. And like, you know, we literally just met and she's like going in these full creative, like high fashion poses. And we're just kind of like standing behind her like, oh, let's not like make her look bad, you know?
Actually, yeah. Based off of the picture, that's happening.
So that's kind of the vibe. And we just shot a music video with her a couple weeks ago, and it's coming out on Wednesday. So we're excited for that, and we think it looks really dope. And like I said, she's just great. You know, we just kind of not that the video was like a shotgun video or anything, but it was pretty like loose as far as we just wanted to make it look natural. But she's dancing in the video, and she's really high energy, and she definitely makes it for sure.
Oh God, I can't wait to see it. Yes, Monsters, the music video drops tomorrow, so that's something for a lot of you guys to look forward to. Mark your calendars, something to look forward to in 2021. Thank the Lord and thank Cheat Code. Matt, let's talk about this song, Lean on Me, because it is sort of like the lead single, right, for this album. Like it's the one that you guys wanted to really release and bring out there to the world. And one of the lyrics that really struck me was, baby, when you're falling, you can lean on me. When you don't feel strong, when you don't believe. Is that why you guys decided to make that the single for this? Because of what everyone is feeling? Because it's just like, ouch. Like, oh, he's talking to me. Oh, okay, noted. Like, why lean on me?
Yeah, I mean, just to draw from personal experience, I remember like the first 10 days of the pandemic here in LA, like it was intense. Like they told you not to leave your apartment. People were fighting over toilet paper. I didn't leave my apartment at all for 10 days. And I was kind of locked in with my girlfriend at the time. And I just remember thinking like, I don't know if I would have been able to get through this without her. And I think a lot of people probably went through that. They had like their quarantine partners. Maybe it was just their dog, you know, maybe it was like, you know, their parents or whoever it was. And I think it was kind of like a scary time for everybody. And, you know, you can look at that as a negative, or you could be like, oh, look, this is something that essentially everybody in the world experienced at the same time, no matter what country you lived in, no matter what language you speak. So let's come together on that of like, you know, we made it through. We made it, you know, we're stronger for that. And we wanted like an uplifting record as stuff starts opening up. We didn't want like anything too like preachy or sad or anything like that. So
it's perfect.
Can you just imagine if they do like a We Are the World version of 2021? I mean, who would be a part of it? You guys would probably be the one producing it.
Oh my God, that'd be so sick.
You know, it'd be something really, really cool. Now, you know, here on the show, Matt, you know, we do have all out questions where we just ask fun, random questions. And we know that you are so big as a producer with your group and doing all the music and all that. What was the first big purchase that you've made? That, you know, just to put out a sign there that I've made it, I got money to the whole world.
Okay, I'm trying to think. You know what? Okay, I'll say this. This was like a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. But I bought a really nice camera. I bought a red camera, and I think it was like $15,000 or something.
Wow!
And
$15,000.
But it's like a cinematography style camera. And I don't know. I'm like a gearhead kind of. I like getting new equipment, like new technical stuff. So that was like I don't even own a car. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'd rather spend like 15K on a camera than like a car, you know. So that's just kind of where my head's at. But
Oh, he's artsy. He's
yeah,
creative. He's
for
an
sure.
artist. Okay, doesn't need no car.
Yeah,
When he's
I remember
got
like buying that and being like, oh god, like, am I about to do this? Am I about to like drop 15K?
Well, following Rico's question about like the most expensive purchase, what's a purchase or a thing that you absolutely regret? Like now where you are at, like right now, you're looking back and you're like, that was the stupidest thing I have ever bought. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely spent like 2,000 or 3,000 on some like clothes that I'm just like don't wear anymore, you know. And I'm just like, damn, I don't know. I mean, it was like worth it at the time, so I'm not going to say it wasn't worth it, but I definitely don't spend money on clothes like that really anymore because I'm just like, it gets worn down and like it's like cool for like a season and then like the next season it's not cool anymore, you know.
Truth.
I'd rather like work with a stylist or something on an event.
It'll be a lot easier, right? Stylists just get in there, get out, get all the clothes. Now,
Exactly.
you know, when it comes to starting out as an artist, you would always have goals, right? And then when you make it, you're gonna start to meet famous people. Now, who is the most famous person that you could remember that you've met?
Okay. I'm trying to think because there's been a lot of the most famous. That's kind of like a loaded question. I mean, you know, because we've done stuff with Demi and like I think she's one of like the top pages on Instagram or something. But you know, we met Fergie, we met Edge from U2, we met all kinds of people. But yeah, I just remember one time we were doing a radio show in New York, and last minute they were like, "Oh, Fergie's gonna come perform after you guys." And I'm like a huge Black Eyed Peas fan, so I was like, "Oh, sick!" And it was like after our show was like already done basically, so I was already a little buzzed. I was already a little drunk. So I was like even more excited. And she comes on stage and she looks at me and she's like, "Help me." I'm like, "What do you mean help you?" And she's like, help me like hype on the mic." So I was like, "Okay." So it was like me and Fergie on the mic, and I'm doing all of will.i.am's parts. I'm like, to the
oh my God.
to the RG, you know, I guess she just did like a last minute show, and she was like, "Oh, how do I make this hype for everybody?" So we just hyped the whole show for her. She had like 3 or 4 of her classic Fergie songs.
Matt, as a Black Eyed Peas fan, that's like a highlight, bro. Like that's not something people can say, you know, like, "Oh yeah, I just, you know, hung out with Fergie on stage, hyped up the crowd or whatever."
We're used to like playing shows with people, whether it's like a festival or like a club or whatever, but we don't share the stage with people that much, like, you know what I mean, in that capacity. So that was pretty cool, you know.
Okay, since we're talking Instagram and famous people, who's the most, not even just famous, who's the most surprising celebrity that slid into your DMs or tagged you because they were listening to like a cheat code song or something? Like the most shocking, like, "Oh my God, thank you."
Okay, this was the most surprising for me. So we had a song called "Feels Great" featuring Fetty Wap, and
oh my God.
we did like a radio show or something. We ran into this guy named Jacob Sartorius. He's like a really big TikToker. He's really big on social media. And I guess at the time he was dating Millie Bobby Brown, and he was like, "Oh, it's my girlfriend's favorite song." We were like, "Who's your girlfriend?" And he was like, "Millie Bobby Brown." And we were like, "What?" And we were like looking up all these videos. They have these videos of them dancing in their bedrooms to like a record, and we're just like, "This is so random." This was like season 1 or 2 of Stranger Things, so it was like, you know, it was pretty
incredible, Matt.
It was a big. All right. So, you know, when it comes to making music, what advice can you give to young producers or producers that are barely getting started? What kind of setup should they get when it comes to setting up an equipment at home?
Yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot since I started. It's almost like you pretty much just need a laptop at this point, you know? Laptop, maybe get some Ableton. I mean, it depends also if you're going to be producing or writing, because if you're going to be writing, I think it's important to get as good of a mic set up that you can, mic with like a good preamp, and definitely get some good mixing plugins, whether it's like Waves, Auto-Tune, Melodyne, any of that stuff. There's a lot of people that aren't very good at editing vocals, you know, and that can be like when you're writing a song and you're trying to get people interested in the song.
Mm-hmm.
if the vocal isn't edited good, or it's not like tuned, or just sounds like crap, then a lot of times people aren't going to look past the production of it and give it a chance. So I think as far as like a writer or a producer, definitely learn whatever you need to learn and just spend the money on the software that you need to make your vocals sound good. I think it's a good investment. Any investment that you make in yourself is the best investment. That's my
lesson of life.
Yeah,
there's a credible quote right there.
I'll give you this story. When I first moved to LA, I didn't have like any money, so I took a loan out from the bank. It was like a $5,000 or $10,000 loan, and I just bought like all the studio equipment that I needed, and I paid it back 2 or 3 years later, and I didn't have any money. So it's like you gotta, if you believe in yourself and you have something that you want to do, then just take the risk, especially if you're young.
Thank you for your TED Talk, Matt.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Okay, before we end, Matt, couple of last-minute questions, very important questions. Ultimate comfort food, go-to movie or series that you can watch forever and ever and ever. Go.
Okay, cool. Go-to series that I could watch forever, probably The Office.
American or British?
Yeah, American Office. I know it was probably a huge deal because they recently took it off Netflix. I'm sure a lot of people are mad about that. Comfort food, that's a good one. I would probably say barbecue flavored Pringles.
Hey.
That's so specific. I love that. Okay, this is my last question, and then of course we'll let you go your way because we know you're busy. Matt, what's one song that's already out, no matter how long ago, that you wish you wrote? Like, I wish that was my song.
Let's see. That's a good question. I would probably say I don't know why. I'm just gonna say the first one that popped in my head. It might be a random one, but it's called 4 or 5 Seconds. It's like the Paul McCartney,
Rihanna, yes,
Kanye one. I don't know. It's like a cool song. I like that it's kind of stripped down. It's not like what you would expect of Rihanna and Kanye. Paul McCartney. I could definitely tell Paul McCartney helped write that or worked on that.
Oh, good answer, Matt.
I have one more question, Matt. Do you have any hair care tips? Because you're rocking a really nice hair, that you got going on your hair.
Oh man, I just clip it every week and a half, 2 weeks. That's all I do. I cut my own hair. Saves money. There's a tip right there.
Yeah.
And on that note, Matt, message to all of your Filipino fans, the Filipino fans of the Cheat Codes that are so excited to listen to the whole album, to watch the music video tomorrow. Message for them.
I just want to say to all the monsters that are listening, thank you guys for all the support. Keep listening to the album, stream it, Hellraisers Part 1. Keep requesting Lean On Me featuring Tinashe on the radio. We love you guys, and I can't wait to come to the Philippines, play a show for you guys. Love you guys so much.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
We can't wait to have you here in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Matt of the Cheat Codes.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, enjoy your day.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Wow, Karla.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to say this. I really do like the Cheat Codes. I think their music is so great. So it's so cool to meet one of them and know that they're naturally cool. You're just whatever. I'm in LA, living the life, making the music, got the album. So thank you. I mean, wow.
That moment to share that, they had a pictorial with Tinashe and she's all modeled out and they're like, all right.
That's like the coolest thing I've ever heard.
We're going to try our best not to look stupid here, but hey, monsters, we hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Don't forget to share it. Those that are fans of Cheat Codes or you want them to hear the music of Cheat Codes, do tag them to this. But, for those watching us, thank you guys. For Facebook Live, for YouTube, for Twitch, and on air, she is Karla Aguas.
He is Rico Robles live. And you know what, monsters? Since we were chatting with Matt and we've been playing
exclusive interview only on Manila